Welcome everyone to this week's video. Today we are on Herp Monday number 36 and we have a good one for you today. Today's Herp is definitely one that it's hard to describe. It's just be honest, very hard to describe. So let's just get into it. Today we are going to be talking about the Eastern Hognose snake. Eastern Hognose snake, or scientific name Heterodon platyrhinus. Again, that is Heterodon platyrhinus. It is part of the family Colubridae, which we've talked about every time it feels like we cover a snake, the largest snake family. There are some other common names of this. It's known as the spreading adder, deaf adder. If you go on Wikipedia, there's an entire paragraph of different common names that this animal has. It is found in US and Canada, basically from Minnesota to southern Ontario, all the way south to Florida and Texas. So pretty much if you split Texas down the middle and go east, it can be found there, all the way up to Canada. These are found primarily in woodlands with sandy soil, fields, farmlands, coastal areas. They don't seem to want to be directly in water, but they do kind of like to be around it. This is a medium-sized snake. Oops, wrong way. It is a medium-sized snake, but it's a real stocky snake. If you can tell from these pictures, it's really small but really thick. The average adult is about 71 centimeters, so about 28 inches. So that's tip of the nose to the tip of the tail. Females are larger than males, of course, as we've discussed numerous times. Reptiles, females larger, make more eggs. However, the maximum recorded total length of this species is 116 centimeters, which that's 46 inches, basically. So definitely a huge variation in size that these can get. The color pattern of these is extremely variable. We've shown these two. I'm pretty sure these are the same two snakes. But you have things like this. This is also an Eastern Hognose. Matt Buckingham took it 2015. But if you go on Google image search and just look up Eastern Hognose, you can just see a variety of colors. You got this straw color, checkered patterns, reds, super checkered, some blue spots, just incredibly variable. Red, green, orange, black, brown, basically any combination of those. And as you can tell from the pictures, they can be blotched, they can be checkered, they can have nothing. It's pretty crazy, actually. There's a baby hognose. The only thing that you can really say is that in this species of hognose, the underside of the tail seems to be lighter than the underside of the belly. That's really all you can go. However, they have a pretty good distinguishing feature. That right there, or this right here. Most distinguishing feature of this is very obviously the upturned snout. Even this one, you can see an upturned snout. Wrong picture. But all of these, just this upturned snout. What they'll do is they actually use that for digging in sandy soils. And we'll get into why in a minute. But these are a rear fang snake, so you don't really have to worry about these too much. They are considered non-venomous, and the name Heterodon actually means different tooth. However, the reason why they're named Heterodon is it refers to the very enlarged teeth at the rear of the upper jaw. So basically think, how your traditional snakes have those fangs up in the front. These are set far back and they're super thick and enlarged. And they are actually venomous. Do not make the mistake in thinking these are non-venomous. They actually do have venom, but those teeth that we were discussing inject a mild amphibian-specific venom into prey. And that is because these eastern hognose feed extensively on amphibians and really prefer toads. And toads really like to be in sandy soils. That's why they have that nose. They're digging around for toads. So just a little fun fact, the snake actually has a resistance to the toxins that these toads secrete. If you remember, we've talked about in salamanders and toads, they have these parotid glands where there's a ton of toxic stuff in there. This immunity is actually thought to be because they have very enlarged adrenal glands which secrete hormones that actually counteract the toad's skin toxins. The fangs are neither hollow nor grooved, and just another interesting fact about them, when they bite toads with these fangs, it is actually enough to puncture and deflate the toads to make them easier to swallow. So that's almost like popping a balloon. They pop them and then swallow them whole. Now they do consume other amphibians, frogs, salamanders. Some people have gotten them to take rats, but they really seem to be specific to amphibians and really, really, really want toads. However, this venom, have they bitten humans? And yes, humans have been bitten by these, and most people seem to liken it to a bee sting. There's localized swelling, especially if you seem to be mildly allergic to the toxin, but there have been no human deaths that have been documented from a hognose bite. Kind of on that note, these have been kept as pets. They are usually kept unsuccessfully though because of the diet. These things require a very strict diet, that amphibians, frogs, salamanders that we discussed. Now, for the interesting fact that we're gonna in the video on, I showed you a picture on accident, but they're threat displays. So when these are threatened, these will coil up. If you can see in these can tell from these pictures, they'll coil up, and the neck gets super flattened, and the head is raised off the ground. Basically, think of a small cobra. So this is a threat display. And they will hiss, and they will actually strike fairly quickly, but they usually don't intend to bite. What they do is they just high-speed headbutt you. Just smash their face into your leg or your arm saying, "Get away from me." Most, and a bunch of snakes will actually do that. The so-called dry bite. Headbutt you, say, "Go away, I'm dangerous." Well, most other snakes, especially venomous snakes, if the dry bite doesn't work or the headbutt doesn't distract a predator, they'll come back and actually do a real bite. However, these don't. If the high-speed headbutt does not work, what they'll do is they'll actually roll onto its back and play dead. They'll go so far, commit so much to this playing dead, that they'll actually release a very foul musk from its cloaca, and as you can see in this picture, let its tongue hang out of its mouth completely loose. And they don't just do it quickly, like they'll completely roll around, go into like death turns, and really commit to it. Just super committed. And here you can see, they pick one up, they're fully committed. They're not going to move. They are going to smell. But something that's interesting, if you roll them onto their belly, saying, "Hey, I know you're still alive," they'll just roll back onto their back again, fully committed to the possum mode of defense. But thank you guys so much again. I really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. If I don't, please be safe. Have a great day. Please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If you do, I'd really appreciate it. Hope to see you again. Love reading the comments. Please keep them coming. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your loved ones. And peace.